Professor of archaeology was on an expedition in the mountains. He discovered a mysterious cave. There's a man in the cave, but he didn't move. It was weird. The curious professor went into the cave. The scary part is, when he comes out again, decades have passed outside. What the hell is the magic of this cave? Today, I'd like to share with you this new concept sci-fi movie, Time Trap. Before the professor went into the hole, he had told two of his students, he's going to explore the Fountain of Youth. As the name suggests, the Fountain of Youth, where you can live forever. But is there such a place in the world? The professor, who had been exploring alone, had not returned for several days. Mark thought something had happened to him, so Mark and another student, Kiki, organized a team of people. They decided to look for the professor on the hill. They came up the hill soon. Then they found a car. There's a picture of the professor's family on the bus. The professor must have disappeared around here. As expected, they found a rope. Follow the rope, connected at the other end. It was the mysterious cave. The rope broke off at the wall of the cave. The professor could be right under the cave. Several people decided to go down and find out. Leave Sam to meet him outside. In the middle of the night, they feel an invisible barrier. It's like a wall between the cave and the outside world. The professor also encountered this invisible barrier. After he crossed the barrier, the motionless man inside is gone. There was a sudden scream in the cave. The professor scurried out of the cave, but suddenly it was dark outside. He remembered it was daylight when he came, so he hurried back to his car. The car is inexplicably full of weeds. It's been abandoned for a long time. He found a car coming from a man, also overgrown with weeds. He found Kika's bag in the car. Oh, no, his students must have come looking for him. He hurried back to the cave. On the other side, students went down into the cave. The other side, students went down into the cave. Kiki heard a scream suddenly.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god!
They were so frightened that they hurried back. It's too dangerous here. They can't go any further. They don't know what's in there. So they decided to climb back up the rope. Kiki climbs first, but halfway up, the rope suddenly broke. Kiki fell down. Mark pulled on the other rope, and it's broken too. It must be Sam cut the rope. Why would he do that? Mark rushed to use the walkie-talkie to call Sam, but there was no response. He kept calling. Finally, Mark, help me. It's Sam. He's calling for help. It sounded as if it were in the cave. Several people rushed in the direction of the voice. They found the broken rope, and Sam, who fallen down from the cave. But Sam has lost his breath. The camera is still on. Mark rushed to open the camera. They want to know what's going on. The camera records Sam. He's been out for a week. How is that possible? They've been in the cave for less than half an hour. Sam can't survive outside. He decided to go into the cave looking for the car keys. He wants to drive out of this wilderness. But just as he was halfway down, the sky outside is changing wildly. The rope broke suddenly. He fell. Several people were very confused. They can't believe how can Sam stay outside for so long. Another girl, Mia, decided to go up there. Mark gave her a satellite rescuer. Let her go up and get help. When Mia climbed up, she was shocked by what she saw. This place has become a desolation. There's nothing left. It was hard for her to breathe. The rescue signal is also disconnected. She wanted to hurry to find a high place to send the signal. At this point, she actually saw the outer space. There's also an unidentified flying object. A huge storm was coming in the distance. She hurried back to the cave. Mia told everyone about it, and showed them the video. They don't understand. In their cameras, Mia was only out for 2 seconds. Mark summed up one thing from all this. The time in the cave is different from the outside world. The rope was not cut. It's the result of years of aging and frailty of the rope. The flickering light is the rising and falling light of the outside sun. One flash, maybe one day. At this time, they found another scene in Sam's camera. There are others in the cave. Sam was killed by him. It's too dangerous. They decided to scramble up the wall. At this time, Kiki in the video found another thing. She found that it was not just the light that changed, and the direction of the sun. One flash is not a day, it's a year. They've been down for hours. Count it this way, it's probably been 1,000 years out there. And that's when a light suddenly came down from the sky. The pillar of light becomes a ladder. A man climbed down from the mouth of the cave. Judging by the man's clothes, he seems to be an alien. At that moment, a primitive suddenly rushed out from inside. The aliens immediately subdued the primitive people. Several people rushed to flee. They fled to a place full of torches. This is a caveman camp. They're eating people. They saw it and run for it. Mark wrestled with the primitive man, but not a rival. Mark was knocked unconscious on the ground. The primitive man was busy chasing after others. Returned Mia looked at Mark and cried. At that moment, the alien came. He didn't hurt Mark. Instead, he threw Mark into a pool. It is amazing that Mark was instantly cured. Aliens and the primitive people who rushed back to fight. But there are too many primitive people. With the help of Mark, They beat the cavemen. The alien showed a video to several people. It's really been 1,000 years out there. Humans have all moved away from Earth to Mars. The ship that Mia saw was the one that human beings had evacuated. This man is not an alien. It's the future of humanity. At this point Mark found the professor's bag. The professor must be here. As they expect. Mark found the professor on the other side of the cave. The sight in front of him once again stunned him. It turns out that there is another layer of caves in the cave. It's a new dimension of time. They don't move from the outside. This should be the real Fountain of Youth. They're still full of cavemen, but he can't go there, because once you get inside, the time will fly by in this cave outside. At this time, more primitive people came. Mark decided to take the others out first, then come back for the professor, but there was water all over the outside of the cave. The earth seems to be covered by the sea. Mia was sucked into the water by something mysterious, but someone saved her. The ladder was knocked down by the primitive man. The remaining few people hanging in the air will soon fall. At this time, the water stretched out a few tentacles to hang them. Mia is out of the water. She's been out there a long time. Came back to save them. They were pulled out of the cave. More tentacles came in. Sam and the professor were saved one by one. When they wake up again, and found themselves on a spaceship. From here they can see the whole of the earth. They were saved, but what awaits them outside? It is a world that has passed 1,000 years.